Good morning, Facebook. It is so cold up in here this morning. I don't know whether it's Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. That's how it be sometimes when you're stuck up in the house. It is 8:08 a.m. in the a.m. in the morning. That is, children, if you don't know what a.m. stand for. I want to talk about something this morning. I just want my words of wisdom to flow. Somewhat the news got somewhat touched because someone hit me about my USAA. What? They told me, I used to work at USAA too some years ago. This person suffered a major catastrophe. Oh my God. Let me tell you what she told me. She said, the same thing you're going through, I hadn't spoken with her. She's a new reader, or she's a new reader who has made a comment, and she was revealing something. She said, you need to write a book. I told her, I said, I write books, but I don't get my royalties, so I just stop writing and put them on Facebook. If it's going to be free, let them be free, let the people enjoy it as I write. And I thank God for Facebook and for whoever's been keeping me on. And we say, I thank God. We say that so, we're not going to even get into that area. Don't make me start over there. Anywho, early in the morning, it is cold off of here. Alright, so the person told me as we were talking on last night, she said she was a worker at USAA some years ago, probably 20 years ago, and she assisted in a badgering. Oh, wow, she called this a badgering. You're being badgered. What do you mean badgered? She said normally when you have a lawsuit, folks will fight you, and the more you fight, the more they will fight. She goes, what would eventually happen is you both will walk away and you still won't get a lawsuit. She said USAA had film dues. USAA of all people? No, not USAA. They had her. She worked high up in the department. She said that they went, a lady, she didn't say whether she was black, white, Mexican. She just said another employee, something happened and they began to fight her as a group. They had different ones, and she never did get what she was supposed to have gotten. She said eventually we left her alone, but she left us alone too. And she made it seem like it was just a fight that died down. Wow. And she said now all these years she understood, well, actually after her major catastrophe, she had a major catastrophe that she resorted back to the USA fighting. She helped them to fight against a female. And the female just walked away. She said, we left her alone. And eventually she left us alone too. And she never did get a lawsuit, which she was supposed to have gotten. It was her lawsuit. In fact, she said the lawsuit actually should have gone up because they began to fight her, to get her away, to make her go on, because we wasn't going to give her a lawsuit. But then she suffered a major catastrophe. And now she's she's disabled and was unable to work while she was there. She became disabled. She was unable to get her retirement like she felt like she should have gotten because of this disability. But she kind of looked at the fact that she became disabled because she assisted in something that should not have gone on. So I want to talk about that this morning. I want to talk about that. Did she have a conscience all the time? She said she didn't have a conscience. She was a big wig. She knows how to do what she's supposed to do. So she felt, because I want to dig deep into this one, okay? Because she, what is the word I'm looking for? She contributed what she had done to the catastrophe that she had been involved in. For her to have gone and say, okay, the reason I'm in this situation right now is because of what I had done, to me, almost shows there was a conviction. You know what I'm saying? But she said, no, I mean, I was making big bucks. I made mega money at USAA. I was one of the big wigs. I can walk with my shoes off in the company and no one would say anything to me because that's who I was, right? That's some pull. and so she said, no, we didn't do. She said that was her first and only. And they just told her this is what we're going to do, and that's what she did. She had no remorse for what she was doing. But when she suffered her catastrophe, she said, okay, this is the reason I'm going through. Come on, I'm feeling something right there, because you just don't pinpoint. Things happen in life. They happen. You know, you go through some disappointments. Regardless, you can be the best person out there. An obstacle will come, you know. You can be the meanest person. I don't know. I mean, I'm almost looking at her character, too. Was she a good person? Or did her arrogance cover up her eyes from even herself? Oh, my God, that's pretty. Do you believe this woman had a good heart all the time, but she was just so arrogant to where she was going with the atmosphere? There was an energy. She was following the crowd. There were people out there who was in the same prosperous situation or position as she was in, and she just followed them to do what they were doing. It was part of work. And she kept on working. Arrogance can cover up a whole lot. Arrogance is so close to ignorant. You see, arrogance. It's very close. Sounds the same to me. Sounds the same to me. Amen. So, oh wow, my time is almost running out. That's my question this morning. I just want to know. I mean, somewhere in her, it's like it was pricked, just like with a lot of us, when hard times come, and it humbles us. It humbles us. And so I really believe that underneath all of that, she was a good-hearted person. She just grew in a good position. She had been there for years, and she grew with the USAA. She said eventually she left 3 or 4 years before retirement. But I think USAA helped her with a retirement. I'm trying to remember what she said last night. But she had a whole lot of retirement in there, but she wanted her benefits that comes with retirement. Because she had the fundings in there. I used to work with USAA, so I guess that's what we got in so deep of a conversation. But I guess her whole point to the matter was she walked away. She said to this day she don't know what happened to the lady, but they just stopped fighting her. And she stopped fighting them. And she had a son, and she walked on with her son, and her son went on to college and graduated and got his education in spite of what USA was doing. She didn't go so much into details of what they were doing, but they had access outside. So I started thinking, that was government too. Because I don't know if USA has a pull, but I don't think USA has pulls like government. You get big companies like USAA, he's considered part of the rich. And you know government assists the rich, yeah. So yeah, but she said the fight started from USAA. She was fighting for USAA, let me say that. She was fighting for USAA. She didn't know anything. She wasn't aware of a government. She thought they were doing it. She said we fought her so, and she kept saying her words back to us. That's all she had was accusations. She didn't mention anything about a lawyer. She didn't mention anything about courts. Probably couldn't. Just like my situation, she probably couldn't get it because government probably into it. But she didn't. She wasn't aware of government. She was just aware that they beat a young lady, and she kept making her comments, and they kept beating her. Probably the same way. And so they all walked away at the end, and nobody got anything. And that was the whole point of she believed the government or the person that was fighting. Nevertheless, I just felt like in my heart, she's a good person, but she got caught up in something. And that's a message in itself, and maybe we'll come back and talk about that message. Being blind, blinded to who you really are. And things it's an energy in the air when we hang around certain groups of people